It's 8 p.m., a Tuesday. You're walking outside, maybe taking the dog out. You look up and you see it, a perfect, brilliant full moon. You blink and it's gone. Not covered by a cloud, not an eclipse. It has vanished, like a light bulb being switched off. The sky is wrong. It's a deep, dark, terrifying black, punctured by stars, but the softness is gone. Your neighbors are coming out onto their lawns. You hear the first confused shouts. Your phone buzzes, news alerts, but you don't have time to read them because the catastrophe doesn't start tomorrow. It starts right now.
You think you know what happens. You've heard about the tides. Oh no, our beaches will be different. You are wrong. You aren't worried about the right thing. Losing the moon doesn't just mean losing the tides. It means losing everything. The ground beneath your feet, the air you're breathing, the very axis of your reality. Today, we're not just going to watch what happens. You are going to live it, second by second, hour by hour. Because the real chaos, the event that ends the world, doesn't even come from the ocean. It comes from the ground itself.
Let's put you on a beach. Let's say you live in Los Angeles, or Miami, or New York. You're standing on the coast, looking at the impossible, moonless sky. The first thing you notice isn't the water, it's the sound. A low, distant withdrawal. The ocean is leaving. You're watching the water run away from the shore at the speed of a freight train. It's not a low tide, it's an exodus. For 5-10 minutes, the water just goes. The seabed is exposed for miles. Shipwrecks, ancient structures, things you were never meant to see. And then you hear the other sound, the sound from the deep, the slosh. You see, the moon's gravity doesn't just lift the water on its side. It's been pulling a bulge of water, a permanent, planet-sized bulge, for billions of years. And you just let it go. It's not a wave. It is the entire, unrestrained mass of the North Atlantic Ocean, released from its leash, crashing back onto itself. It's a rebound wave, a slosh wave, and it's moving at 400 miles per hour. It's not 30 feet high, it's 300, maybe 500. This is not a tsunami. This is an extinction-level event. This single wave, in the first hour, rewrites the coastlines of the entire planet. If you lived within 50 miles of a coast, you're gone. London, New York, Tokyo, all of it, underwater. You are 60 minutes into your new life, and the world's major population centers have already ceased to exist. Let's say you survived. You lived in the mountains. You're in Denver or Kansas City. You think, the water can't get me here. You are correct, but something worse is coming for you. You wake up the next morning and something feels wrong. The sun is in the wrong place. The air feels wrong. The moon wasn't just a pretty light. It was our anchor, our gyroscope. For 4.5 billion years, its gravity has held the Earth in a stable, gentle, predictable 23.5 degree tilt. This tilt is the only reason you have seasons. It's the only reason you have a mild spring, a warm summer, a cool autumn, a cold winter. Without that anchor, the Earth is now drunk. It begins to wobble. This isn't a slow drift, this is a violent oscillation. The axis of the planet is now lurching. What does this feel like for you on the ground? It feels like the weather has gone insane. The jet stream, the river of air that dictates all weather, shatters.
You are seeing hypercanes, storms that make Hurricane Katrina look like a spring shower. Winds don't blow at 150 miles per hour. They blow at 300, 400. These aren't just bad storms. These are storms that scour the land. They don't just blow your house down. They sandblast the foundations away. And the earthquakes, the earthquakes.
This is the part no one ever told you about, the real killer. The moon doesn't just pull on the water, it pulls on the planet. For billions of years, the moon has been yanking on the Earth's crust, creating a land tide that makes the entire surface of the planet bulge by several inches every day. Your body never felt it, but the Earth needed it. It was a gentle, rhythmic massage, and you just ripped it away. The planet is now in withdrawal. The tectonic plates, which were held in a delicate balance by this constant pull, are now free. The pent-up stress, the energy of a billion years, is released at once. This is not an earthquake. This is the earthquake. It is a global, planet-wide, continuous shattering. Every fault line everywhere goes off. The San Andreas, the New Madrid, the Ring of Fire. You're not experiencing a 9.0. You're experiencing a 12.0, a 13.0, an event that is mathematically impossible in our old world. The ground does not shake, it liquefies. You're standing in your yard in Kansas, and the very ground you stand on turns to soup. Buildings don't just fall, they sink into the earth. This is the end of infrastructure, the end of cities, the end of everything. In the first week, you don't die from water. You die because the ground itself has betrayed you. You are a survivor. You're one of the lucky few. You're living in a bunker or a cave. You've made it through the slosh. You've survived the hypercanes. You've made it through the great shattering. You emerge to a new world, a world of dust and silence. And now, you begin to starve. You see, the moon was a clock. The life cycle of everything was tied to it. The tides were the dinner bell. They were the planet's circulatory system. They brought warm water to the poles and cold water to the tropics. They mixed nutrients. You look at the ocean, it's stagnant. It's becoming a dead, stratified soup. The coral reefs, gone. The mangrove forests, gone. The plankton, the very base of the food chain, are dying. They cannot navigate. All the animals that use the moon to migrate, the sea turtles, the birds, they are lost. They are gone. The entire food web collapses. From the bottom up. In 1 month, the 8 billion people who survived are now fighting for the last remaining cans of food. But the planet isn't done with you. You've made it 1 year. You are a true survivor. What does your world look like? That wobble, that drunken lurch has had time to settle. And the results are a nightmare. The Earth's axis, its tilt, has now drifted from 23.5 degrees to maybe 40 degrees, or 60, or maybe 90 like Uranus. What does this mean for you? It means the seasons are dead. It means the very concept of where you live is gone. The spot you are standing on in what used to be Chicago might now be the new North Pole. For months on end, you are plunged into a darkness and cold that is absolute. Temperatures drop to negative 100 degrees. The air itself freezes. But then, 6 months later, that same spot is now the new equator. The sun does not set. For 3 months, it hangs in the sky, baking you. The frozen ground boils. Temperatures skyrocket to 200 degrees. This is your new life. There is no Goldilocks zone anymore. There is no temperate zone. There is only the land of fire and the land of ice. You cannot grow food. You cannot live on the surface. You are a creature of the twilight, a creature of the deep, scuttling from cave to cave, while the planet you once called home has become the most violent alien world in the solar system. You look up at that empty black sky, and you finally understand. You've been asking the wrong question. You've been asking, what if we lost the moon? And the universe has given you the answer. The question was, why were we so lucky to have it at all? It wasn't just a light. It wasn't just a rock. It was our protector. It was the anchor that held our world steady so that the impossible, delicate, fragile thing called life could have billions of years of gentle seasons to evolve from a single cell into you. It was the metronome, the patient, silent clock that ticked in the darkness, giving you time. And now, your time is up. The moon's gravity is the reason we are here. A perfect cosmic accident. But what about the sun's gravity? What if the sun vanished? Would the chaos be faster or slower? Let me know what you think would happen in the comments. And that's the what if we'll explore next. And if you want to understand this world, this beautiful, violent, accidental home, like this video and subscribe. We're just getting started.